Hi, good night, everyone. This is Baja Pips. It's currently 10:05 p.m. South Korea time. I am here in Seoul, South Korea, and today I'm going to be doing another day trading session. I figured that y'all got to see me in action for the first time in months last night, and just for persistence and consistency notes, those of you might think that, hey, um, he got very lucky trading. Hey, it's skill combined with luck. I mean, we all get lucky when we trade, but I just want to show y'all that this is actually a skill set that I built. So I have no clue how the markets are looking right now. This is my very first time checking the price action, and I'm going to walk y'all through it. It's currently New York open. I have no clue what's going to happen in the markets today. I actually been on the road all day. So it's my very first time sitting down, office mode. And I'm going to pull up the charts. I'm going to run y'all through. I'm going to try to record some audio, but if it's not in the background, it is what it is. But yeah, let's run it through. I'm going to start off with my pre-market context. So I'm going to share the screen right now so y'all can see the economic calendar. That's going to be the very first thing I share. Just see it in just a moment. All right, so this is the economic calendar, and y'all can see that I am in Korea because it is in Korean. Let me just refresh the screen. And I'm just looking for news, make sure that the time zone is set. GMT +9, I'm almost in the front of the time zones. All right, so no high impact news coming out tonight. Couple medium impacts in 52 minutes, but nothing crazy. But check out tomorrow. Tomorrow is the Indian bank holiday, doesn't matter. Consumer confidence is coming out at midnight over here. So that's actually going to be in 2 hours. So that is a little bit of news. But other than that, should be a pretty clean session, high impact news free. And that's what I like to see. Nice, smooth price action. I'm going to get over to my Top Step account and we're going to get started. So you're going to be able to see how everything is still pretty much integrated. Just a moment while it's setting up. Today's sponsor, well, I'm sponsoring this drink today. Very first time. It's called Celsius Energy Drink. So Celsius, if any one of you that work for Celsius see this, yeah, put a promo on. So it's a very good drink. It's pretty much sugar-free, essential energy, green tea, extracts taurine, and it has 200 milligrams of caffeine, so it's a little bit high on that. But I had one earlier for the first time and it wasn't bad. It was very clean energy. And yeah, this is my second one. And I'm just gonna run this through. I just opened it, crack it open. And yeah, let me just be drinking this along the session. And yeah, I'm gonna get started. So y'all can already see the screen. Share this tab instead. All right, so you can see everything is set from yesterday. I have not logged into my Top Step account since yesterday. So you can see that I don't pre-plan anything before my recording. It's all raw, it's all from scratch, it's all straight up from the top of the dome. I don't have anything rehearsed. I'm just press the record button and I say, hey, today I want to do a recording. I want to set the charts up, and I just want to do this for the public, for those of you that have not been working with me in my private coaching sessions, and maybe you're a little prospect, a little interested, and you just don't know how I trade. I'm going to run y'all through again, step by step, bar by bar, pip by pip. It's another day. Why not get another video? I'm just creating content. And yeah, there's no secret. It's just performance. I worked hard to get to this level when it comes to my performance. So that's why I can share to the public without hesitation. I have nothing to hide. It's just I don't want to record all of my sessions just because it's just why? If I'm not getting paid for it, why am I sharing it? Most people that are recording or streaming, they're getting paid to stream. Me, I'm just like, I just do it because I have to. It's just part of my living, part of my life. So, you know, if I want to share it, I can. There's the answer. nothing crazy about it. It's just some people decide on sharing their content and some people are more private. I'm a little in between, but yeah, we're gonna look at mini NQ. Very similar to yesterday. One thing I like about Top Step is it saves your layout, so I don't have to readjust the y-axis or anything. So mini NQ, same thing. No crazy price action right now. There's about roll my sleeves up. There's about an hour and a half until the NYSE open, and less than an hour and a half until NYSE open. But just going to read the pre-market context, see if there's anything that I see as ideal. As you can see, there's no high impact news. I already told you all from yesterday that I do not want to trade the euro dollar anymore, but I'm going to break down the pre-market context to share with y'all how I can read my price action based on what the market is giving. By the way, it's Tuesday, February 25th, 2025. So I just wanted to share that with y'all as well. You can see that it's right here as well, 25, February 25, 225.25. Cool. All right. And I'm going to go over basically the London session starts at 17 o'clock on my end. So I'm just going to put something, just some notes. Also, I'm going to clean this chart up. I like to have clean chart hygiene. Just don't want to have any marks from yesterday on it. And yeah, that's 17 o'clock. So I'm going to just put this right here. Like that. All right. I'm going to separate that from the US session. So this is the US Open, and then the NYSE Open is coming out at my time, 23:30. So I just want to mark this off like right before that session. So this is the in-between session we have right now. I am not trading euro dollar. I'm just breaking down the pre-market, and more than likely, I'm going to take a little break and come back later, and I'll share probably trade NASDAQ again with a couple of the stocks, maybe even include some of the S&P, ES, mini ES. But yeah, so let's start off marking off the highs and lows of the day. The no-brainer for me. I do this every day, so it's one of those blanket rules. I must mark off my highs and lows of the day. There you go. Cannot get started without setting up the proper screen orientation. Then I just adjust the x-axis so I can actually see the candlesticks. All right, so my chart is all set up. It's all oriented. It's about 78 pips. You see it right here. 81 pips, totally fine. And yeah, just going to look at the price action. You can see that swift and quickly, I can read this from left to right. This is Asia session. You can see it was grindy. There's nothing going on. Absolutely trash. Very small bars. You see each of these bars. That's barely 2.5 pips. Barely anything happened there. 1 pip, 2, 2.5. Yeah, see, barely moved. So nothing happened over here. All these bars are like 2 to 3 pips. I don't like that. So I would not touch anything over here. Price finally dropped out, pulls back, drops out, pulls back. It's just grindy, drifting into a range of nowhere. It's basically going nowhere. Nothing. So would I trade this in the London session? Absolutely not. I wouldn't even look at this London session. If there was anything else to trade, I would trade something else. That simple. Context and then pattern and then trigger. If the context is off, I don't even care for the pattern because the pattern will be too small and too minor for me to even care about. So there's no pattern, because the context is off. I can't even find my setups. I mean, look at, there's a TC South right here. Boom, boom, boom. It fails. Second chance. Yeah, whatever. I literally just wouldn't trade this. So coming in, price. Let me just get on my drawing tool so y'all can see. Bulls came back, retested daily highs. See, daily highs is all up here. So bulls came in, retested it, got rejected. This is one big range. That little triangle I drew, huge range. This is the new lows of the range right here. Bears came in, tested it, nothing, came back, center of the range, moved sideways, not touching anything in this session. So from 17 to 18 o'clock, this has been 1 hour of price action. And as y'all can see, it just got stuck in one little range. So what would I do? Nothing. I was just sitting on my hands. This is what I call drift. All right. So this is drifting. Nothing. Let's go on to further right towards the most current time. And I'm going to mark this one on up as well. So after that drift, we're getting closer to London lunch. 21 o'clock my time is London lunch. So we just came out of London lunch. And what? Well, more drift, retested daily highs, finally breaks daily highs, pulls back, finally get a trigger, TC North. Trigger happens right around here. So a little pullback, pause, trigger, and it does go up to our 2.5 hour. Awesome. I like that. That's the very first trade that I will take. There's another trigger right here. It goes partially, not even 1 hour, stops out. All right. Now price is hanging around, potentially to drop, but it fails. There's no trigger. Comes back into a former range, pulls back, triggers. Too close to the high. I would not take that. And that's where we're sitting at right now. So I just read price action from Asia session all the way to now. So basically broke down almost 12 hours of price in a matter of minutes. Doesn't take that long. I can do this for every chart. Would I trade this? No. I'm not interested in this price action. It's just basically showing potentially one trade would have been a winner. And that's just how the euro's been. Just been crap. And another problem is that it doesn't change much if I come back in an hour during NYSE open. That's it. NYSE start means New York Stock Exchange. It doesn't matter if I come back in an hour or not. It's going to, more than likely, it's going to keep on giving me this drifty price action where I can't do much. So would I trade this? No. If I have other pairs to trade, I wouldn't touch this. So hopefully that makes sense to y'all. Reading pre-market context. I call it pre-market because it's all of this is pre-market compared to pre-session. This is my session right here when the actual New York opens for forex, and the forex New York open is 1 hour before the stock market New York open. So they have two different types of opens because there's two different types of markets. Nothing is going to change. No high impact news. There's no CPI, no FOMC, nothing. So I check the news in advance and I don't like what I see. So to avoid getting chopped up or wasting an entire day on trash, I'm going to leave it alone and I'm going to move on to something different. So for those of you that are wondering why I don't trade the euro dollar, this is why. It's not just preference. Oh, I just don't want to trade it. I would if I could, because I'm an opportunist. I look for opportunity in the markets. But if I don't see anything, hey, I'm not going to force it. I'm not trading out of FOMO. I'm not an impulsive trader. I got rid of those habits. The ego is tamed. And so I'm trying to just alert y'all. If you don't see anything, try not to force it. Try not to go crazy because you're trying to make profits. If there's nothing, there's going to be more than likely going to be nothing. And that's just what you have to rock with. So let's go somewhere else. it's not popping in this area, there's no action. We're going to look somewhere else. So these two at the top is pre-market, it's closed. You see right here, it says market is closed. This market is open, 6HE. That's interesting. So this market 6HE is my blue. I believe that is lean hogs. Oh, Euro FX. So yeah, that's what I just marked up. Menu NQ. NQ, I noticed it doesn't really happen much pre-NYSE open, although you can trade it pre-NYSE open. There's not much to do. If you want to get small moves, I guess you can. But same thing, I'm going to break this down pre-market, and this is going to be one of the pairs that I'm going to potentially trade just because it was really nice yesterday, and I like what I've seen, and I'm going to just take note because this might be my new primary pair. I liked what I seen, and hey, all right. So I'm a couple hours ahead of Bangkok. I'm an hour ahead of China, and I am about 14 hours ahead of New York. So 8 o'clock a.m. New York time is about 10 o'clock p.m. my time. 10 o'clock a.m. my time is about yeah. So y'all can see. So basically, Asia's session starts around 5 p.m. in New York, but I'm a couple hours ahead. So it's going to be about 7 o'clock my time is going to be New York open or the reset of the market. So I'm looking at the highs and the lows from there. And you can see it's very tiny, very drifty because NASDAQ markets are closed, stock markets are closed. So the NQ and the S&P, the reason why they drift pre-market is the stock markets are closed. These are indexes, so they're a conglomerate of stocks. They're not going to really move much until the stock market's open and the data is released. So this is all pre-market. And to me, it is insignificant to the actual market open. So that's why I'm starting to like kind of migrate over to this, because I like the fact that every day is fresh. So yes, you can trade this pre-market, and it's just giving me hints. If a couple hours before the stock market open, if it's nice, then I'm going to continue to trade that. And you can see, apologies for that, I have my thing. And you can see that it is looking pretty solid. So, and there's some news coming out, like I said, 23 o'clock my time. So that's, you know what, this is UTC +8. Always make sure that you have the time zone set. See, I'm not in Shanghai right now, I'm in Seoul. So yes, so 23 o'clock, and it's going to happen right at midnight, my time. NYSE open is going to be in about 1 hour. So 23:30. Like I said, I'm going to end up pausing this and coming back to it. I just want to get a little pre-market setups just to show y'all this is my pre-trade routine. I'm going to do this before all of my live videos. So those of you that are new can just see how I do set up my charts. I do look for fundamentals. I look at the technicals. I look for warning signs, red flags. If it's really choppy pre-market, more than likely it's going to continue to be choppy during the session. Yeah, so 23:30. So maybe about from 20 o'clock, I'm going to start looking and mark that up. So let's just read the price action between then and now. So we just have one big range. Let me expand this, right? Let me go to my drawing tool. And yeah, y'all can see. Fix my camera. Really refreshing. All right. Big range, just like euro dollar. Boom, boom. Attempted to break higher, came back in. Pops up, fails. Comes in to the range, retest the lows. Price comes back into the range, nothing. Fails. Nothing. So that whole time, it's just moving sideways. Here's lows, daily lows at the time. Price comes back in, pulls back, triggers. First trigger works. Okay, that would have went up for about 2R. Nice. Second trigger, pulls back, triggers, goes sideways for a bit, whipsaws a little bit. Probably would have trailed out on this one. If you held it, yes, it would have definitely hit your target, but more than likely I would have trailed out just because it was moving sideways too much in this little region. See, bulls finally broke out higher, retest the former daily highs, move sideways, and that's where we're currently sitting at, is former daily highs. So within the past couple hours, leading up until an NYSE open, would I trade this? It's trending up now. You see how the context is changing. It went from sideways to a moment. Let me fix my camera, kind of lagging. Can y'all see me? All right, good. It went from sideways to trending up. And we're going to see the reaction from the daily highs shortly. Maybe it's going to grind around a range until NYSE open. And then it's going to finally make some moves similar to yesterday. If you didn't see yesterday's video, I'm going to leave the link in the end of the video. And you can just kind of do a little recap. And yeah, that's about it. So pre-market, just looking decent, but I don't really want to use the pre-market of this to judge. I just wanted to set that up and identify that for you all. So I'm going to leave this on the chart. And I'm not a big fan of live cattle and lean hogs right now. Just not a big fan. I tried, but it's just not my thing. You know, I traded in the past. It's just not really my thing. I don't know. I guess it's not the greatest thing to trade. And if I have other options, I probably would stick with those. Let's check the mini S&P and kind of see how that's moving. And I'm gonna just gonna check out my trading view and just see what the mini ES is looking like. I almost forgot. Go to Matif, yeah. Economic, show y'all right now. Forex volatility calendar, and the SPX is moving about 1.25%, same as yesterday. So just takes a moment to set that up. So go to the y-axis, make sure I delete any drawings from yesterday. Do the same thing. Just measure that. What did I say? Short-term memory on this right now, 1.25%. That's a little bit much. That's 0.78. 1.28. That's solid. That's good enough. And I'm going to focus on two things today. So I might leave the euro dollar up just so we can follow up with that later. It's going to be right there in the corner. But I'm going to focus on the mini NQ and the mini S&P. So you can see micro S&P and the micro NASDAQ. Those are going to be my primary focus today, with a little bit of Euro USD on the side. I'm not going to trade it, but I will just kind of commentate and highlight what's going on that pair from time to time throughout my session. So the last thing I'm going to do is make sure that the S&P is all set up. So this is my new red. I like to color code this on Top Step. It's going to be red, and then the micro NASDAQ is going to be white. Make sure the symbols are aligned. And then the euro dollar is going to be blue, but it doesn't matter because I won't be trading that. You can see how everything is color coded. Why do I do this? Because when I am taking a position or a trade, I want to make sure that I'm not pressing a sell or buy button on the wrong thing, because that would really mess me up. So the next thing I'm going to do is just wait. Before I wait, though, I need to just mark off my highs and lows of the S&P, even though it's in pre-market. So go back to 7 o'clock over here. Make sure that time zone is set up. And we're going to mark off the highs and lows. I'm going to mark off the highs and lows, and I'm going to drag it as we move on. The current highs right here is 60.15.75. And the lows from, or what I said, 7 o'clock. So 7 is over here. Lows are right here. Boom. That's that simple, y'all. It really helps because the price does react from these areas. You don't want to get caught up in that mess. We can see that coming into London Open. So this is London Open, 17 o'clock over here. Bears were coming in, rejected daily highs. Nice thrust on down. Nice triggers, by the way. Nice trigger. This actually, it was conflicting with daily lows, so I wouldn't touch that, but it did work out. Price then comes in, pulls back, triggers, fails, and then kind of triggers again, and it chops up, fails again. So that's not good for the London session. Then we have nothing. Wouldn't touch any of these. Expand the range, expand the daily lows at this time. Sellers come in. I'm going to bring my drawing tool up now so y'all can see what I'm looking at. Sellers came in. We came close to the former daily lows, which are now range lows. And it didn't reach. And pretty similar to Euro and NASDAQ is just drifting. Rejects daily lows, pulls back, triggers, goes sideways, nothing. Comes down, sideways, nothing. Comes in, pulls back, tries it again, triggers, and it finally starts to work. That's a 2.5R winner right there. Pulls back, triggers again, goes sideways for a little bit. Eventually it goes up, and it would have been trailed out at break even. Price then breaks those highs, pulls back. And do I see a trigger in this area? Not yet, but it does trigger right here. And it whipsaws. It comes close to stopping that trigger out, but it doesn't. And that's where we're currently at. Pre-market on the mini S&P is 50-50. What is that telling me? Just probably going to use lower risk than normal. Doesn't mean I won't trade it. Like I said, NYSE Open is different for these because they're indices, and it's pretty common. It's common sense at this point that it's going to probably be a little choppy before the New York Open because stock markets are closed. So I don't know who's trading this all this time before the NYSE opens, because this is not a European index. Therefore, just like how the euro dollar shows choppiness in Asia, because Asian session is not the major banks are in Europe and the US for that pair. If I was trading the Japanese yen or the Australian dollar, then I would be more expecting price action to be more clear and clean during Asia or Tokyo or Sydney session. But I'm trading US indexes. So we need to focus on the NYSE Open, and that's not going to happen until New York Open. So that's why I was saying the pre-market doesn't really matter, but it's worth reading, I guess. I can sharpen my edge and get a little practice before. It's like little warm-up shots, you know, and that's all it is. So as of right now, probably going to use low risk. If I was seeing really clean price action, maybe I'll do closer to 1%, which is my maximum risk per trade. On this example, I'm not even using 1% on this account. It's just demonstration, and I'm still going to trade with a sufficient lot size so y'all can see. But yeah, this is the pre-market. Have about 50 minutes until the actual session starts. So gonna come back, have another thing to say. I'm just gonna have to wait for price to play out, but this is my main focus, and I have my chart set up for the NYSE Open. I'll follow up with y'all in a little while. So this is all set up. I'm gonna log out, and I'm gonna come back in just a moment, y'all. Hello, guys. I'm back. It's currently 11:36 p.m. Korean time, and I'm back. I'm gonna pick up where I left off. So give me a moment while I share my screen on the Top Step X. So I didn't really go anywhere. I just took a little break, and first time checking the charts with you all, so we can see the price action right now. Not much has changed since the last time I was recording. See, price just rejected daily highs again on, this is the mini ES. Pulls back, triggers me in for a RT south, and it does eventually go on down to a, looks like a 1.5 R target before trailing out. So would have probably collected a little under 1 R on that trade if I did take that. And now we are drifting in a range again. So I would like to see, apologies for that, I would like to see this little box area taken out. And at this point, because we are just moving sideways in a range, I need to see more volatility come in. That's what I'd like to see. So I would like to see bulls come on up strong or bears come on down strong. So either way, I need to see the daily range tested and taken out. And very similar to the mini NQ, I would like to see a breakout. So in any moment now, we should be able to see something happen. No guarantees, but volatility is still pretty low on both pairs. So I'm going to just continue to wait. And if I see anything, I'm going to get started. We can follow up with the euro dollar though, and going to move this over. So you can see very similar, but yeah, the euro dollar, nothing much has happened. I did mention this earlier in the video. I said that the euro dollar, if it's not doing much pre-NYSE, more than likely, it's going to continue to show that dead flat price action for the rest of the day. That's pretty much what I've noticed. Nothing appealing. And yeah, just going to wait. Should be some sort of catalyst to set off the S&P and the NASDAQ. They are different. So that's why they look very similar, but they are different. S&P is the 500 US stocks, and it's not tech based strictly. The NASDAQ is strictly technology based. So they do cover separate sectors, even though they do look similar. So gonna just wait. Volatility should kick in. Just give it a moment. See the players start to scramble and get ready for the day. Should be some sort of breakout soon, and I'm gonna trade the reaction based off of the breakouts. So just give me a moment. Gonna be a little moment of silence. I don't know how to share music. I don't know how to share music on this application, or else I would. So you're just gonna have to just wait in silence I'm playing music in the background, but yeah, that's just what's going to happen. Just wait. It's a waiting game. A lot of trading is waiting, is sitting on your hands. Doesn't always have to be pressing buttons. I actually press a button maybe like less than 2% of my time during my sessions. The rest of my time, I'm actually just waiting. So that's what I'll do. Wait, commentate, and play some music in the background on my end. So update y'all shortly. Just continue to watch the price action. There's news coming out in a few moments, maybe 15 minutes. So maybe we're waiting for that. High impact consumer confidence. So maybe we're waiting for that. That's probably the big news coming out. So let me continue to wait. The high impact U.S. news and consumer confidence does tie in with the S&P. Uh, so we'll see what happens. My phone, this is kind of flat, so nothing to do right now. Just give it a few moments. Update y'all shortly. So 15 minutes until that news announcement. I would pause the video and resume it, but who knows? Maybe something happens in this time, but it's best to just keep the footage rolling. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Just keep the footage rolling. So NQ is testing daily lows, same as mini ES, but that's all going to change in about 10 minutes. So to let y'all know, whatever's happening with price is insignificant right now. If I don't see high volatility, it doesn't matter to me. It's just ES drifting. Pretty ironic though. 10 minutes before the announcements, which is a few more bars, is all just resting on that daily low. As I said, price action is not easy, but it's also not impossible to read. I mean, prices, market does very similar things daily. Some of you all might call this a demand zone or whatever you want to call it. I call it support. I call it daily lows, whatever. Different terms, different, same meaning. It's waiting for a reaction. Don't want to trade into it. If you're trading into these areas, you're predicting because you don't know the reaction. You don't know what's going to happen. Even if you believe you know, you really don't know. If you knew, why don't you go all in, right? If I knew something for sure, I would go all in, but I don't control them. So there's no way I know 100%. This is all just to my best knowledge. – 10 minutes left until that announcement. As you can see, bored or not, I'm not touching the screen. I mean, I'm not placing any orders. Absolutely forbidden if there's nothing going on. So they're both breaking the daily lows right now. The mini NQ busted down daily lows. Same thing with the S&P and the ES. Very similar. I'm gonna just pick the one with the best setup. Euro's doing the opposite. I don't think we're really highs. But no trading euro. I don't like the price action free market. See how the volatility is picking up. You see what I mean now? Why is this a waste of time watching all of that? Why not just come around this time when we're starting to see that real action? You understand? Second day in a row. Looks like it wants to break out of his range in a bearish attempt. But yesterday, it has no relation to today's daily price action. So I don't care what happened yesterday. I'm not swing trading. I'm day trading. It's boring, but I gotta do what I gotta do. Just wait. Just sitting here waiting. That's what trading is. It's waiting. A lot of it is just waiting. Can't even do anything if I wanted to because I have rules. I have parameters. I have a system that I follow in my head. It's internal. It's intuitive, and I know what I can and cannot do. So right now, I can't trade. So I gotta watch it. So for those of you that want to see a myth debunked, the myth about scalping or day trading is a bunch of clicking and action. It's a lot of weight, the opposite of what a lot of people believed it was. So see what's going on here. 5 minutes into that announcement, I'm actually playing music in the background, so it's not as boring as it might sound. It sounds quiet. And that's what I recommend if you're you have a session going on and have a little music that you can vibe out to nothing crazy. Just got a little something in the background and just cool, just chill. 4 minutes into that announcement. And you're gonna see in a moment how high impact moves just the whole market change. I'm gonna do a little recording for the gram right now. It's another day, and y'all can see I'm creating my compound and I'm just recording another video for the day. All right. 2 minutes into the announcement, y'all. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. You ready? I need to see price push away from the daily low. I'm not trading around this daily low. I need to see something happen, but definitely push away from this. Hotel coffee is all right. Music is off, and I'm gonna get more focused now. Getting ready for this announcement. Consumer confidence is coming out. You're gonna notice that it has that little lightning bolt on the top step. That's just letting us know that there is high impact news, and normally they'll disable trading on the announcement for the minute of the announcement. So that's another reason why it doesn't even make sense to trade the announcements, because they're going to disable the so if you're in a trade, you can't even close out until after that minute. And what can happen is you might have, say you're short and you have a stop loss right here. It'll burst past your stop loss. If you have a profit target, it'll burst past your target, but it's like a double-edged sword. So it'll burst past either one, and then you're just, no, you can't close out until after. So you might be at a way worse price. So this is triggering on a TC South on both pairs, which I do like that. So it's one of my setups that I trade is a trend continuation South. Very nice TC South, but I don't trade the news announcements. A lot of times it could be manipulation. So we might see price action fake out, or we might see a continuation South. It looks very nice, by the way. I love this setup. It would be something I would take 100% if it was not a high impact announcement. So after this current minute, I may be able to go in. So you see 2:15, the clock is ticking, and maybe I'll go in on a trade in just a moment. I'm using one lot, so just give it a minute. I'm not going to chase price. So you see 1 minute after the announcement, it did trigger. It's a nice trigger. It is going down. Let's see how low this can go. It's a 3-minute chart. So once again, I don't like trading the announcements. So I'm going to wait for this leg to complete, and then I'm going to go in. So they are mirroring each other, the S&P and the NASDAQ today, but I'm going to wait. There's no rush. There's plenty of time to trade. I could be in a short right now, but I'm chasing price at this point, and I don't like to chase. There's 1 minute left in this bar. It is bearish. It is dropping, but I'm just imagining myself in this trade right now. So I'm scenario planning. I'm picturing, hey, if I took a short now, how would I feel? Well, I'd be a little, I'll be much more uncertain because it is news. People are scrambling to see the release, to see the data, and it's just not, the market hasn't fully made up its mind. So this is a trigger, but it doesn't matter. I want to see the reaction to the news. The numbers don't matter. As you can see, I don't even look at the data. To me, it's the price action. So I want to see how are the charts reacting to that announcement. So I just know that there's an announcement. Now I just need to see how are the charts reacting. So I'm going to get in on the next one because I want to see that this data is actually bearish. You know, the reaction is bearish. So the news happened on this candle. We can see that it did trigger, and I'm going to get in on the next leg if it continues down. But I'm not going to chase this, just to let y'all know, because I'm way too late if I were to go in for a short, and it just wouldn't make sense. So I'm going to wait. It could be tricky. If it does continue to drop, then I'm going to get in on the next pause or pullback. But this is not my trigger. I don't trigger this late. If I were to trigger, it would be right away. And on that minute, it didn't give me enough time. It didn't like wait. It just triggered on that bar during the announcement. So that's just a little red flag for me. And I wouldn't touch this right now. See, the bulls are starting to fight back. We'll see what happens. And then the euro dollar, it's still showing nothing. Like, look at that on the far right, just completely flat markets is dead. So that's how I was trading this euro dollar. In the past, it was just dead. The past year, the euro dollar has been choppier than ever. And yeah, it just, a lot of my days when I was looking for forex trades, it just wasn't, I was wasting my time just sitting there, just like, oh, it's another day. And then when I did see something that was potentially good, what it would do is it'll just chop me up and I might take some losses. And you got things like the S&P and the NASDAQ that are moving that could have been my main focus. Sometimes I would take full days off and say, hey, no trading today, just because I was only focused on the euro dollar. And I would just, you know, it's good for discipline, you know, hey, there's no trade, don't touch it. But at the same time, it's like, hey, there's no trade in this. But now when you're trading the combine, you only get about 30 days. So if you're focused on one pair or one market and that's it, you're not putting yourself in the best position to pass these combines because they only give you 30 days. And then you're down to like the last week. And so you're rushing to make the hit the criteria and meet the targets to pass the combine, or you're going to fail because you're going to reach the time limit. So that's what would happen when I was focused on just one pair. So I'm going to just wait. I have no clue what's going to happen, but bears are struggling to push further down, and that is a sign. You can see that former leg, I'm going to measure it right now so we can see just how large that last leg was on this one. This was about 103 points. And then this current leg that just dropped, I'm going to measure this. Just move it out the way. 45 points. So this is less than half of the size of the last leg. So it's telling me that the bears are way weaker. And it's a red flag. So for me, I'm looking for a potential reversal. Maybe an, let me just go back to my chart in a moment, but maybe like a price can pop back in above 59.70 or the mini S&Ps, pull back and then trigger. I will look for a northbound move to take out these stops because I'm going to be stop hunting today. If that's the case, there's stop losses right here for sellers. There's stop losses right here for sellers. And there's stop losses right here for sellers. So it's magnet levels, and that's what might project the S&Ps to go north. You know, sellers got to sell to buyers, and buyers got to, y'all get what I'm saying. Got to buy shares from sellers. Same thing with this. On the bottom of the NQ, there's some swing lows right there. Some of y'all might call this swing lows. Once again, different terms or different, different terminology, same meaning. Waiting for some sort of reaction. But am I interested in a short right now? Absolutely not. There was a drop off right here that was clean, it broke daily lows, but this second drop off is so weak. And if I were to chase this and I were in the short right now, I would be a little concerned because now it's moving a little sideways. What would be going on in my head is, why has price not dropped further yet? We just had an announcement. Um, Maybe the news was neutral. Maybe the reaction to the news was neutral. Once again, the data doesn't matter to me. It's about the reaction to the data. So what what is the crowd doing? That's my question. Because I'm trading the psychology of the crowd. I'm not trading the actual announcement. So the crowd is looking at this like, if it's really going to be bearish, I want to see sellers pick up in magnitude. I need to see the momentum increase towards the downside. If it starts to continue to show these small, tiny bars and start to push on up, my bias is neutral either way. So why not look for a long? That's why it's very important to have a neutral bias. Don't stick to one bias just because. So it is a waiting game, and interesting. And give it about 30 more minutes. So because this is a 3-minute chart, it takes a little bit longer for the setups to formulate. So that's why I give myself a little bit more time nowadays to trade. I used to trade for 2 hours, and that would be the forex open at 8 a.m. New York time. But nowadays, I don't trade for that. If I'm trading NQ or ES, I'm probably gonna start an hour later, right around NYSE open, and then trade for about an hour to an hour and a half, because that's when the action happens. That's the thick of it. If I'm trading the 1-minute chart, then yeah, maybe I can just trade for like half an hour. But if I'm trading this 3-minute time frame, I got to give myself a little bit more time. So it's only right. Give it that patience that it deserves, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna wait for a little bit and update y'all shortly. But right now the bears are looking quite weak, and it wouldn't be a surprise to see buyers kick in and start to reverse it towards the upside. That's kind of what I'm expecting on both of these, buyers to kick in and reverse it towards the upside. And that would be awesome to see a nice buy setup. I'm just not fully convinced of bears yet. You can see that the buyers did come in. It is kind of rejecting those former that it was former support. So they are rejecting the former support, but I need to see sellers coming strong now, because if it's a true rejection, um, why wouldn't I be surprised to see some sort of push on to the downside? And you can see how they are kind of mirroring each other. It's not uncommon to see that, but just to let y'all know, these are different markets. So they can both be traded simultaneously if there's a setup. They're not the same thing. So just, don't think that just because they look the same that they have to move the same. It's just happening as I speak. It looks very similar. That's not good for sellers. I don't want to see that happen. So this is a false trigger right here, or a quick trigger. It might fake out now, and that's what I like to see. A little fake out, that's a really good sign. So let's see if the bears actually, this is an aggressive trigger, so I don't take these, but it's a good sign to see what's happening off this trigger. So just bear with me for a moment. The bears continue to push it strongly down after this. It's gonna increase my bias towards the downside. But if we have a little fake out now and pop in, 100%, I'm gonna be looking for longs. So let's see what happens. Will the bears pick up and momentum, or will the buyers start to step in? That's my questions right now. Just wait. All right, so we're seeing buyers step in. Exactly why I didn't want to take any of these shorts. It's just showing weakness. And I do like these little quick triggers because I'm able to just step aside and observe and see what's happening. So I used to take these quick triggers, and then I realized, hey, this is stupid. It's impulsive. And nowadays, I just use them as kind of like a little stepping stone, a little cornerstone. Just want to see, I use it to my advantage because this used to be me. I used to be in this short after that trigger, and now I would just be hesitant, like, what is going on? Yes, this sell right here would have definitely been working out, but I would have had a trailing stop. It wouldn't even be 2R. Let me show y'all just how much I would be up right now on that trade. It's not even that much. It looks like it's dropped a lot, but it didn't. So let's just assume I did go in on the announcement. My stop loss will be right above this bar. And let me just move this. You see that stop loss would have been up there. And 2R is way down here. 2.5R is like even further. You can see we're barely halfway there if I were in that trade. So it is dropping. So it's showing me that the bears are picking up in momentum. What am I going to do is I'm going to get prepared. Maybe I do get a sell opportunity if I do see the bears pick up now. So it's not FOMO. It's just assessing the conditions to see if it's ready for my own trading, my own trigger. Let's just watch. The mini NQ is definitely dropping, and I do like that. Maybe I get in on that for potential sell as we are picking up in shorts. Gonna have to wait and see. I do like what I see though, so just giving y'all a little update. I still need some sort of pause or pullback. So it's nothing yet. Sellers are coming in strong now. This is my signal. Let's wait for a pause or pullback. I still need to wait for that. I like this drop. So you could see now exactly what I was waiting for. It's an increase in momentum. Now we're going to wait for that pullback. So this next leg down, you can see now the evidence is there to short. What is a pullback there? The first leg down was 110 pips or 110 points, not pips. And the second leg down was 143. That's really good if I'm looking for shorts. And then on the mini NQ, bear with me for a moment. Measure that. That first leg down before the news was 434. And that second leg down was way larger at 826. So almost 2 times the size. So what that is telling me is that the sellers are there. There's clear evidence that bears are present, but it doesn't mean I sell it yet. All things have all my stuff has to align. The context is there. Now I need to see my setup, and the setup is pretty much present, but the trigger's not there yet. So I need to wait for sellers to fully show me that they're there. So I need to see a pullback or a pause, and then I'm gonna get in on my trigger, because that's my scenario. That's my system. That's how I trade. So we're gonna wait for that pause or pullback to finish, and get set up. What happens if you don't wait for pauses or pullbacks to complete? Well, anything can happen. Like I said, just because it looks predictable doesn't mean that it is. So these buyers could step in, and they can really just reverse price. And at that point, you're looking for longs. Look how strong they look right now. So they are coming in, but they could stall out and trigger into the downside. I'm 100% looking for a short. But if they continue to ignore it, start pulling back and triggering up, then I'm going to look for a long. Let's see. To me, it's in bearish territory, so I'm like 90% going to take that short if I get a solid trigger. I may only have time for one trade, but it's totally fine. One trade is all you really need. I do not go on after fast triggers. So if this triggers right now, it's too quick, and I'm going to just avoid. I need to see my setup. So if it can just not drop past the last lows, that's perfect. It's showing me that the bears are strong and they are present. And all I would do is just take my setup as my setup. So we have about 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes remaining in this period. And then I'll be able to take my trigger. I'm taking one contract each because I may potentially be in 2 pairs at once. So what happens when I'm trading multiple pairs is that I reduce my lot sizes because there's a potential that I may be in a second pair. That's not right. The mini S&P triggered too quick, so that's voided. Maybe the NASDAQ can give me a better setup. So I'm not going to short this. That's a red flag. Maybe the mini NASDAQ can give me a better setup and I'll end up taking that. We'll see. But that S&P is voided. So no shorts on this. Maybe the buyers start to step in. But I'm 100% not shorting that because it's breached my rules. But the mini NQ is still pretty solid. Looks like it has potential. I do have criteria for my pauses and my pullback. This is my trigger event. So the setup is there. It's a TC short on both sides. But the trigger is off on this one. And this one, the trigger is very solid. So I'd rather pick this one over all of them. But I'm still going to trade with just one contract. Just in case, while I'm in this trade, this one might trigger up and then I'll be in 2 trades. And if I'm risking 1% on each, then I'm exposing myself to a total of 2%, which is not that great. So I'm getting ready. And as y'all can see, I'm making sure that it's on the right color code. So this is on red. I got to make sure it's on white for the NASDAQ. And make sure it's on the right instrument, mini NQ. And I already know the bar size is pretty solid. It's going to be a pretty good stop loss size. But yeah, I need to see this trigger. You see it's pulling back still. It's showing me that the bulls are showing up. Retesting the highs of that bar. Whenever it does this, it's giving me a clue. It's a close one though. Sometimes the setups might just keep on moving without giving me a trigger to get in. So it's just what it is. Like this mini S&P can continue down without giving me a trigger. It happens, but I don't chase it. Just charge it to the game. And I'm definitely prepared. I'm ready for this trade. Maybe I will trade 2 contracts because I'm coming to the end of my session. So I'm probably just going to have enough time for 1 trade. I know this looks similar to yesterday's session, but I promise you it's completely different. It just happens to be bearish, and I happen to be taking a similar, trading the same strategy, similar setup, completely different context, different everything. So that S&P is showing that the sellers are present. Let's see if they want to pull it down further. But I'm going to focus on this mini NQ right now. This is my ideal pair. See, we're boiling down to the last 30 seconds of that bar. So I'd like to wait until the start of the next bar to see if the sellers are really there. So see, it's triggering right now, about to. I'm going to wait because it might be a fake out. Just because before it did trigger, it went a little bit higher and it revisited the highs of that last bar, which is indicating a potential reversal. But I don't know yet. Let's just give it see 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. It is triggering down. So yeah, if I could see sellers present a little bit further down, I'll trigger. But you see how it's like already refusing to go. That's not good. As you can see, the S&P and the NASDAQ, they look similar, but they are different when you're looking at it in the with a fine detail. So if you're looking at it tick by tick, bar by bar, like I am, you're going to see that fine detail and you're going to realize, this is not identical. There you go. It's not the same. And if I was in a sell too quickly, that's impulsive. And what may happen is that stop loss is right there, is sitting right above those two bars, right above the 27. But yes, it's going down a little bit further, and I'm going in. So I'm ready. My trigger finger is itching, and I'm ready. But I can't press it until I get that confirmation. No trigger, no trade. I don't care how good it looks. It's whipsawing right now. It's indicating the buyers might be there. Give it about another 30 minutes of this session, and then I'm gonna call it a day. Now y'all can kind of see it is different from the euro dollar in regards to, euro dollar. I would start like an hour and a half earlier than S&Ps and NASDAQ, but I might start these. If I'm going to be trading these from now on, I might start my session a little bit later. So I'm going to modify my schedule so I could I don't have to waste like an hour and a half pre-market looking for something if there's not much happening. Just my own personal notes, but I figure I'd just share it with you all. So if you see me starting the trade a little bit later on in the day, it's because I'm trading different markets. If I was in that sell right now, I'd be a little concerned. Is it going to continue, or am I going to get stopped out? This is nice. Let's see what happens here. Maybe I can get two lots on this. It's a little bit whipsaw. See this last bar went to the low, was revisited, almost like the highs of that last bar, and it's dropping again. See, this is too much whipsaw, so I might avoid that sell and start looking for a potential buy. So I want to see the buyers present. That's going to give me more. I'm more towards a buying side at this point because it's doing too much whipsawing. And then the S&P, like I said, they're not related, but the S&P was an obvious no for a short, so I am expecting a reversal. But the NASDAQ, that was a little tricky. As you can see, it did trigger, but it was a little bit, it's not convinced. It didn't convince me, so I left that one alone. Yeah, it would be ideal to see some bulls come in now. I'm not going to touch shorts unless I absolutely have to. 2 whipsaws is enough, and it showed me a couple whipsaws, and I don't like that. So I'll explain. So there's a pause, trigger, and there was already like a little mini whipsaw coming into that, so it dropped, pulls it back, almost gets to the top. I know this green is in the way, so let it disappear. But yeah, almost gets to the top of that potential trigger, and then it did end up driving down and having a quick trigger. I don't do those. It's too fast. And then price went back towards the high of that last bar. So that's what I call a whipsaw. It's too much whipsawing. And if I get a couple in a row, I back off. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So even if it triggers short right now, we're on our third leg down, and that's another red flag. And I'm just leaving it alone. I want to look for some longs. I'm projecting a bullish breakout towards the upside now. That's what I want to see. And I have some time. I have like 20 minutes left. So for those of you that are still with me, I appreciate you for watching this video this long. This is why I do private sessions with my clients. We can actually discuss this type of stuff. There's a lot of fine detail in the chart that I just cannot break down in a live trading video. It's something that we have to dive deeper in. I do offer private coaching sessions. We talk about everything price action related, exactly how I teach you, how I read it, you know, everything A through Z. So once again, it's not predicting. This is reacting. And yeah, I know I could be right, but the egos aside, it's just another day in the markets for me. I see this all the time. So that's why I'm, potential reversal. And I used to be that guy in these trades taking the potential loss. My stop loss would be right there on that. And if I were in this short, my stop would have got hit. So that's discipline 101 right there. If I'm able to assess my old self, see my previous move, see my prior moves, like how I used to trade compared to now. And I'm like, wow, I'm countering my old self. It's me versus me on the charts, even though it might seem like there's somebody on the other side. It's just myself. I'm mirroring myself. I'm seeing. It's just deep. It's deep, y'all. I can't even explain it in this video. But for those of you that understand, for my past clients, my current clients that I work with, you all understand exactly what I'm talking about, and you're seeing it happen and unfold. That's why you need to hop on a day trading session with me. There's a lot, and it changes daily. So the more you learn, the more you'll be prepared for when you are independently doing this. It's not scary. It's not, I have no adrenaline pumping right now. I'm not nervous. I'm just chilling. Just chilling. It's another day. So still not convinced of a long just yet on this. I don't like this setup. It looks like it's pretty much drifting. If we are going to get along, I need to see buyers just like really come in. I need to see that buying pressure. They need to come in. I need to see an acceleration in buyers. Then I'll be convinced. This little itty bitty move right here, this little U-turn, I don't care. I'm not trusting it, because it could also fake out the buyers, and then you're just trapped in a freaking range. Same here. We didn't make new swing lows. If we made new swing lows and then reverse, absolutely, I'm going to look for a long. But we didn't even make new swing lows, and that's my red flag right there on that pair. Y'all can see it was just shy of the swing lows. So to me, it's not yet a reversal. Just give it some time, let it play out. Not in a rush. Might drop that down to one contract though, because I may be in two pairs at once and just ride them both. See that euro dollar? I'm just gonna show y'all while I wait. Still drifting. It just tapped daily highs again, and it's rejecting. So sellers are coming in, but this is trash. I only trade euro dollar for 2 hours, so up to 2 hours. And as you can see, I would have been in this trade. This would have been like third hour and nothing, no trade this whole time. So that's what I meant by wasting my time on the euro dollar. So far, the NASDAQ and the S&P, this one has only been moving for about uh, an hour. 23:30 is when it started, and we're getting into 24:30, so an hour. Yeah, that's what I meant by starting a little bit later. And this may be a no trade day. So just giving y'all that little heads up. This would be a second chance short right now on NQ. So I am looking for a potential sell. If it does set up, I will take that short to the downside 100%. See what happens on the NQ. That's another whipsaw. That's a red flag. You see it came back down to the lows, almost triggered in, and now it's going back to the higher end of that bar. I don't like that. Does that one more time, I'm not taking it. So it has to push down and trigger me in like immediately. This bar has to push down and stay down, or I'm gonna just leave it alone. Let's see if I get that sell off. And the S&P is also setting up for potential short. So we'll see. So you see they're both setting up. So there's a potential I can be in them both at the same time. See the euro dollar on the side. It is rejecting those daily highs, but there's nothing. There's no pullback, no setup. Oh, wow. Haha. Like the buyers want to show their hand. The dealer wants to show his hands. Buyers are there. They are present. So that's one whipsaw, followed by a second whipsaw. No selling for me. No. Let's look for some longs. Call it a day. Hopefully I can get one good trade in today and not tired at all. Probably going to be up for a little bit longer after this. I want to take a little break, take a little bathroom run as this sets up. But I'm going to let this continue to run in the background and just let y'all see if the buyers really step in. So give me a moment. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. As y'all can see, trigger right here. Show y'all that one just right now. There's a little false trigger on this little candle. So this little candle right here. Not false trigger, but it is a trigger. It did trigger. Like I said, I've seen too many whipsaws. So I'm gonna leave that one alone. I'm not convinced anymore. Uh, but I would be in this so short right now. But it's just giving me too many red flags, too much uncertainty. If the sellers are really there, they would have been took it down. Now it's just like uh, little baby moves, and then also this on the S&P. Too much whips on. Like I said, this bar came down, went all the way back up. This bar was a quick trigger, came all the way up, would have stopped you out anyways. Followed by this one right here. Followed by this one. It started off bearish, and then it went and became bullish. And now we just got triggered in right here. So that's just a couple red flags. Once again, um, I'm very strict on that rule. Couple whipsaws leading into my trigger, no trade. I don't care how good it looks. No, leave it alone, because more than likely that's going to be a failure. It's hesitant. And just like me, if I hesitate to take a shot, if I hesitate to take a trade, if you're an athlete, you hesitate to make a move, more than likely you're gonna fumble, you're gonna screw up. So it's a hesitation on the market's end, and I don't like that. It's a red flag, big red flag. No, more than likely it's gonna continue up. Not predicting. I'm just using probabilities. You'll hear me. You'll hear my vocabulary a lot of times. I'll say more than likely, highly probable. Doesn't mean it will. It just means that there's a higher chance that it will. And as y'all can see, it is moving up. The bulls are there. If I was short right now, I would be nervous because that could be a 1 hour loss. How do I know this? Thousands of trades. Once you do this thousands of times, you get the hang on of it. The market leaves clues. You just focus on yourself. Only have your own voice in your head, and just focus on you and not what others are thinking or what somebody else is doing. You'll start to unravel the codes. You'll start to see the market leaves footprints, and you show up every day. And you don't got to show up every day, but just show up often. Be present, trade what you can, and come back the next day, and the next day, and the next week, and the next month. And it's a multi-year journey. So don't expect to get, your day one might be somebody else's day 1,000. Somebody's day 1,000 might be someone's day 10,000. But my point is, don't compare yourself to others. You don't know somebody else's journey. And that's like my message of today. Just, you might see some things happening in this video and you might be like, wait, how does he know that? Why is he doing that? But this is not my day one. This is not my day 1,000. This is not my day 10,000. I'm doing this for a while. I'm on year 15. So I haven't been trading these strategies for 15 years, but I have been trading for a very long time. And I just know what I know. There's still a lot that I don't know. So I'm very open for learning more. But you're going to see me making way less mistakes nowadays because I am mastering myself. I am mastering my system. And yeah, y'all just going to have to just wait and see how this journey unfolds. So if you're here with me, I appreciate you. I'm going to keep on dropping nuggets. Sure that some of you really appreciate this video today. I figure why not? give back to the community. It might help someone out that's really on their journey and really trying to grind it out. That's how I got, motivated. I saw other pros doing it, and I said, hey, it's actually possible to read the markets. It's actually possible to be consistently profitable. It's not a myth. Myths are debunked in my videos. I debunk myths all the time. So if you've been following along for a while, very transparent. I'm Mr. Transparent. I show everything. And of course, my balance and stuff are hidden just for my own personal comfort. Like, I'm doing this public anyways. Y'all can see I am trading. I don't need to show too much. It doesn't matter. Y'all already see that it's a 50K combine. So regardless, y'all kind of have a hint. But because of my own personal preference, it's just a choice. Some videos you might see me reveal a balance, but why am I going to do that? It doesn't matter. It's insignificant to price action. I'm trying to share price action. So that's what I'm going to do. Buyers are present. Now I need to see evidence that they're going to actually fully reverse. So we can come back into that last range. It's not really a range anymore, but I want to see buyers really there. So I'll give it a little bit longer. Because right now it's telling me basically sellers are definitely not there. But are buyers actually there? Because I need to see the momentum increase. So what I'm seeing right now is first leg, pull back. Second leg, I need to see more buyers, and then I'll be convinced to take a long. Same with this. I'm looking at it inverse now. I'm not looking at it from a seller's side. I'm looking at from a buyer's side. Kind of like being ambidextrous with your hands. I can see it from multiple views. So I'm not just looking at a bear's side. I'm using my other side of my brain to see the buyers. So right now I see one leg followed by a little pullback and the second leg up here. And I see one leg followed by a pullback and a second leg forming right now. So as long as we can see the buyer step in, I'm definitely going to guarantee take a long. If not, leave it alone. But this is why I have to be patient. If I started at 11:30, I have up to 1:30 as my cutoff time. That's why I said I need to start my sessions a little bit later, give myself that fair advantage, that fair chance. So you can see 1:30 is over here. That's when I'm going to end this session. Same with this. 1:30. Pretty much going to end my session. So it's almost over. I know this video might be a little extended, but it's totally fine. There's a lot of information, a lot of knowledge in this video. So why you don't chase price, because it might look obvious to many. 30 minutes ago, most people might have thought that the sellers were going to continue to take it down. And as you can see, 30 minutes later, it's not the case. If you're in shorts, you would be pretty upset right now. I mean, I would be like, damn, it looked good, but the fine detail, it kind of reveals a lot. They say leave paper trail. So these videos are like proof, documentation, evidence that what I'm saying is fact, and it's not just opinion. You see it's happening. So if you need to study and you need to learn more about the markets of price action, and you're hearing what I'm saying, if you find value in that, then why not take notes? And it might help you in your journey. This is all free game, but it's far from everything. So if you think you're just going to get all the information you need just from these public appearances, no, nah, it goes way deeper than that. The entire trading game is just deep. So don't think that you could just shortcut your way and you need help, hit me up, because this is nothing compared to what I really talk to my clients about. Like, we go on a really deep level about trading and price action and stuff that is very exclusive to only conversations offline. So just know that. That's why a lot of people, when they think that they can get, they can learn how to trade for free, and the information's all online, it's all free. Yeah, good luck. Good luck. Try that. Try that and let me know how far you get, because free does not mean great. Free is free. You get what you pay for. And yes, there's a lot of information online. It's scattered around with no order, no specific anything. So you can take that how you want. Just know that it's not it. You might think you cracked the code, and in reality, you barely touch the surface. You see the euro dollar on the right. It's an RTR south. I don't even need to see the full picture. I just know this would be a short. Rejected daily highs, came on down. It would be a short for me, but because it's choppy, more than likely that stop loss is going to get hit. And see, buyers are stepping in now right after that trigger. Not even up 1R, and the buyers are already present. I've seen this thousands of times. It's nothing new to me. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. All right. Still need to see this step in. This is weak. 30 minutes left in my session to see if there's anything that I will take. Not tired though. Had my coffee. Had a couple of these today. I probably had like 500 to 600 milligrams of caffeine this afternoon. I'm wired, but I'm not jittery, which is great. Very clean energy. There's a lot of sellers coming in, and they're trying to push it, failing. This is another push, but I'm not convinced. I don't want to short it. We have new daily lows right here. Same with this. We have new daily lows. And at this point, I need to see buyers push it to new daily lows, fresh daily lows, pull back, trigger down. Same with this. I need to see a fresh daily lows taken out, pull back, and trigger for a TC short. So if sellers can pick up, well, remember, I'm neutral, so I'm not just looking for buys. It could shift to the downside as well, trigger. That's the next thing to look out for. It has half an hour, so nothing pops up. I'm over it. Because the buyers are also weak. This is one reason why I didn't want to chase it, because they are still quite weak. So it is very much possible for sellers to step in now, but we'll see. That euro dollar is just standing still. It was a clean trigger too on that euro dollar, but more than likely, I'm gonna see it fail. You heard my vocab, more than likely. I didn't say we will see it fail, more than likely. Probability has it that there's a high chance of it failing. Sellers do step in. It's a new leg. It's a new trend. Because that last prior downtrend is over. It was strong. We see that the downtrend was strong, but it did end, and there's a potential for a new leg to set off to a new downtrend, and that would be great because it'll give me a reset. We'll see. I'm still reading price action, by the way, bar by bar. Nothing has changed since the start of the session. I don't see anything in soon. Let's call it a day. I'm not gonna wait all day for a move. I'm only gonna trade within my parameters, within my time. See the seller stepping in strong. They might be coming back. But if I was in sells from the daily lows with like 30 minutes ago, I would have been sitting in the same trade for half an hour, more than half an hour, just to reach break even again. And that's not good. About 25 minutes left in my session. Why am I not shorting it yet? Y'all don't even understand. Buyers could really just come in out of nowhere. No trigger, no setup. And before I get my trigger, I need to see my pattern. And I don't have a pattern right now. It's just price action happening. It's just price is just moving. It's doing what it's got to do. But there's no pattern. More than likely, sellers are going to continue picking up. I just need to see the momentum there. Buyers, I absolutely need to see on mini NQ. I need to see buyers take out 21,206. And then I'll be ready to buy. If not, too much selling pressure. And the mini ES 5970, I need to see buyers take it on past that. If not, then leave it alone. I have the endurance to trade this whole time because I didn't trade all day and I did take a nap earlier. I got some rest. So this is just a makeup for that time that I missed. It's pulling back a little too early on the mini ES. It's like, why? I wouldn't trigger because we have new daily lows right here, fresh daily lows. So let me just make this visually clear so y'all can see. We're trapped in a little range right here. I need to see price break those lows. And then same here. These are fresh daily lows. I need to see a moment. It's like if the sellers are really that strong, why not just take out the lows? Why are you hanging out above the lows? If you're really that strong, just take it out. You got to ask these questions. These are the hard questions to ask that no one wants to ask because everyone wants to just hop in and make money. That's not the case. That's not how markets work. You got to ask those questions that you might really not want to ask. Like, hey, I want to trade, but if it's not setting up, I can't trade. So why would I trade if it's not setting up? If it's bearish, why is it hanging around these recent lows? Why doesn't it just drop like it did earlier? Like you had some beautiful drops earlier. Why is it stalling out? Why is it taking so many bars to drop? These are real questions. Got a little over 20 minutes left. So I give myself that time limit. It's like something might set up. And if it does, cool. But if it doesn't, peace. I'll come back tomorrow. Yes, sir. That's the buyers right there. See if they can hold. See that? Where are the buyers? Are they stepping in? Good question. Twenty minutes left. There's nothing happening, and that's it. Flat day. The euro dollar just triggered, but it's moving sideways. Flat market, nothing. More than likely, it's going to hit and reverse. Similar thing is happening to these pairs. It's just nothing. It's moving. Believe it or not, it is moving sideways, even though it doesn't look like it. I mean, it dropped. That was clearly bearish. But ever since that last failed trigger, it's just moving sideways. It's like not going lower, and it's not necessarily going higher. It's moving sideways. So when I see that happening, I just stay on standby. So what I mean by trading is boring. It's not necessarily fun. It's not like you're gonna see much happening. But I got time. I got 20 minutes. All it takes is like a couple little moves. I know some YouTubers, they'll pause the video and say, I'll be back later while the session is happening, and then they'll magically just be in a trade when the camera starts. I don't do that. I film the whole thing. If I do pause it and come back later, I'm not gonna be in a trade. I'm gonna pick up on real-time information and update y'all. So my videos may be a little lengthy, but you can see the full thing. So you know that I'm not just fabricating trades. Looks pretty flat to me, y'all. Getting closer to the end of the day mark for me. Still nothing. The buyers are really there. Same question I would ask sellers. Where's the power? Where's the strength? Why are you taking so long? I avoided a couple losses today. That's awesome. Showing me improvement in my performance, and I will take note of that. That's a good thing. So even if you don't take a trade, you can assess your performance and see if you're doing better than you did in the past. There's always something to take away from a trading day. Just show up, give yourself an hour or two, do the work most aren't willing to do. Most aren't willing to show up daily and take notes of their own performance. So literally, like, it's a performance-based sport, trading. And if you're not taking notes and you're just gambling, it's not good. You're never really growing. Growth is what's going to get you consistent over time. A lot of nuggets were dropped in this video either way. I had enough time to talk, but not every day is like this, by the way. I don't have enough time to really give this much detail and insights because it would be much faster moving, and today is just one of those days. It's just pretty flat. Happens, y'all. No rush. Something is going to give. If not, forget it. Because now we're getting close to the US lunch. And if that's the case, you got to exit. You got to just stop trading. So it's about to be 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's like a half hour before lunch. So you don't want to trade after that. Some people only trade 30 minutes, one and done. Some people trade an hour. Some people might trade the whole 2 hours up until the US lunch. So I don't like trading a half hour before NY lunch. It gets pretty choppy around that time. And I'm not trying to take a trade just to show everybody. I don't do that. No offense to y'all, but y'all really don't matter. You're not helping me win. But I'm not trying to impress anyone. It's just, if I'm helping you, cool. Just keep it that way. So there's a nice little trigger right here on the mini ES, but the NQ is hesitating. The mini ES, I just don't like it because it came so close to that former low. And it's like, if it was bearish, it needs to take this out if it came that close. That's my big question. It did pull back, and yes, it's triggering right now. I'm not taking that trigger because whenever it comes close to a range low or high, I need to see that taken out. Just a little bit suspect. Why did it not take it out, and why is it triggering right now? So if it did it much higher, maybe it stopped right here, hit like a pivot, pulls back, and then triggers, and I had enough space, cool. but it's a simple fact that price came on down so close to these former lows, and it started pulling back and triggering here. It's a little bit weird. And this one, it's still on these former lows, so it's not giving me enough evidence. Conviction level is not there. It's more than likely a false breakout or false trigger. 13 minutes left. Probably not a trade day. I'm not going to force it. Time is running out and there's no setup. So what does that mean for me? Done. Finito. Got to be patient with these markets. See that euro dollar? It's pulling back. Dry, flat. I told y'all. Not a I told you so thing, but I mean, I did bring that up. It is reversing. So just gonna have to wait and see. It's turning off my camera and on because it's lagging a bit. So very bored. Very, very light markets today. It happens. Yesterday, I got some action. Today may be a no trade. But I saved myself a few R by not taking a couple poor quality setups. And that just validates my reason to not take those type of setups in the future. It's like, oh, I didn't take it today and I would have been a loser, net loser. I took it in the past and I was a net loser. So that's evidence that's building up to support my bias or my reason to keep that rule in my system. So that trigger is failing on ES. It would have definitely triggered short, and stop loss will be right here. So it's triggering. Ten minutes. I'll call it a day. Looks pretty flat to me today. In the meantime, I could look at lean hogs or live cattle. See how that worked out today. Euro dollar, we can see that it's an obvious no for today. Let me just take a look at live cattle, lean hogs. Push this S&P out the way. More than likely, I won't be trading nothing today. It's just getting to that point. This one, it started off right here, gapped up, no chance of taking a trade on this. It's like a little long right here, and it would have failed. Second chance, long right here. It would have succeeded, but probably would have trailed out at 1R, and would have been a pretty flat day. Yeah, so good job not touching that. That's what I mean. Live cattle and lean hogs, very similar to the euro right now. Just it's not giving me the best setups. It's been choppy, so just leaving those alone. And then here's LE. See, the start of the day was right here, drops, pulls back, triggers right there on 23.48. Would have been a large stop loss. Let's measure that. Yeah, way too big of a stop loss. I definitely wouldn't touch that. But you be up 1R down here before getting trailed out. A little bit less than 1R, so that would have been a partial winner if you did take that. I probably wouldn't have it took anything. It's like a little potential long right here, but it trailed out around break even, and nothing. So this would have been pretty flat today as well. I just stay out of those because those aren't my markets right now. If I see consecutive days of chop, I discard the pair or the market and move on to something else. That's what I did with the euro. It was just consecutive weeks actually of just chop, so I left it alone. 6 minutes does not look like much is happening. So I'm gonna call it a day, y'all. Maybe I'll upload a video on YouTube. I don't like uploading videos where I'm not engaged because it's not going to gain as much views. It doesn't matter about the views, but if it is a public trading video, so I'll probably just archive this one and leave it on the members only because it does have a lot of good notes in this if you pay attention. It's no trade day. Not every day is a trading day. And this is an example of what I mean by no trade. You save money, you save capital. That's always good. I see a few mistakes that were avoided because I saved myself from taking those, and in 5 minutes there's nothing. So at this point, I'm gonna call it a day, y'all. Thank you for being patient with me, and I'm gonna just log out. No trade today. Good job. I avoided a few losses and stood out of a lot of mess, and that deserves a pat on the back. Good job. See y'all tomorrow if I decide on recording. If not, I'll have a meeting actually tomorrow, so probably more than likely not going to do a public appearance. Then I have another, maybe we'll do one on Thursday. I'll see how I'm feeling. That's about it. No trade day. It's official. We could go a little bit into overtime. We could see sellers step in right as we're getting towards that 130. So maybe I'll wait just a few more moments. Maybe we'll get some shorts popping in last minute. It is always possible. I do look at the news. Just checking the economic calendar. Seeing if there's any high impacts. Consumer confidence already came out. 17-minute, there's a Fed Vice Chair Supervision Barr speaks. So that's coming out. A Fed speech, medium impact, 17 minutes. Not sure if that's going to affect these moves, but could lead into something. Either way, we're getting closer to lunch, so I might just stay out. See, they're revisiting these daily lows, so I mean, maybe I get something. So this could actually set up for a potential trade. I might go a little bit into overtime, y'all. Y'all might be in for a surprise, might be in for a treat, because it is revisiting these daily lows. So we could see a breakout lower, or we could see a full-on reversal that I may be able to take. So give it a moment. I am anticipating a potential move. Getting a little tired as well. Hitting that 29 mark. Couple scenarios. We have like an RV North. Now we have some swing lows on the way down. Drop, pull back, drop. We can pull back in. I can take a northbound trade. We could break down south more and pull in. That'll be even better. See what's up. Plenty of upside room. Maybe we get a reversal north. I need to see it happen relatively quickly because we're getting close to that lunch, and I don't like that. So if nothing happens in the next 6 minutes, I'm calling it a day. Okay, thrust. Remember I said there's a speech happening right now. A little push on down. There we go. The more you do this, the more you're reading, the more proficiency you're getting, the better you're going to get at reading price action. So even if you don't trade, you are improving on your performance. You're getting those experience points. You're getting that XP. For those of you that play video games, you know, you get XP for just playing the game. That's what I'm doing. Just getting that XP points today. I'll be forever thankful. Just adding it to my arsenal. Bright light pointing at me. I think it's the lighthouse. I'm right next to the marina. Oh, it's in my face. Let me close this. Oh, nice. We have a push down. See, this is why I was waiting. We may see something. Let it set up. Just let it set up. Like I said, it's ironic how these are mirroring each other today. They do not move the same, but today they are mirroring. So it might just be double opportunity. Could be double trouble. Sellers coming in strong. That's what it looks like. I think I did miss a move. There was an RT South that did happen. And did miss that, but I'm just going to take a note. I'll get in on the next leg, which would be a TC South. That was the first leg. Just kind of highlight that on right here. I did miss a move. It happens. It's just something I can learn from. Not terrible because I didn't know. But pretty much boom, boom, trigger. I would have been up way well over 1 hour right now. Same with here. There's like a pivot swing low right here. Made some new swing highs. Came back, tested those swing lows, took them out, pulled back, and then it eventually triggered on down. So I did miss that setup. We weren't really in a range. So just take note. Kind of messed myself up right there, but we'll see what happens now. Getting a little close to that lunchtime, so this is it. Need to see something show up. And I'm more on the buyer side right now anyways. I would be getting trailed out in just a moment if the buyers take it out any higher. I would on both sells. Pretty much I'd be seeing break even, getting trailed out. Same here. Trailing stop would be right above that last red bar on that mini ES, micro ES. Yeah, right now, ideally, I would like to see the buyers thrust on in, take it on, pull back, trigger. Beautiful. We'll see what happens in just a moment. Reaching my threshold, reaching my limit, my endurance. I am getting quite not sleepy yet, but I'm a little tired. So our buyers there because I'm definitely not interested in shorting it. That was a weak break. See if buyers can step in for my RBR. That's another strategy. Basically, it's a false breakout strategy. And yeah, let's see. It's a very quick one. All it takes is a few bars to form. So could be as little as 3 bars. But sometimes it might take a little bit more. That's enough time to squeeze something in before lunch. I would take it. There's a speech right now. Lots of times speeches tend to mix the market up and, could be a full-on reversal. Maybe it's just more chop. It is very likely. Anything is possible. Okay, yeah, they're both mirroring, as you can see. Lean hogs, flat. Y'all see that? Flat. Boom, 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 boom. Nothing. Flat. This one, though, yes, sir. Wait for a pullback trigger. I'll get in. Let this bar finish and the next one, and I might get in. But it needs to happen soon because I'm in overtime now. And I don't like that. So just giving myself that little overtime today just because I have time. But normally I would not. I was already seeing something happen coming into the end of my session. So that's why I meant by overtime. I'll give myself that little extra benefit of the doubt and see what happens. Let me just transition this over. So no lean hogs today. Focus on the other two pairs. Tired, y'all. Tired. Pretty burnt. Ten seconds left in this bar. Not as strong as of a move up that I, wanted to see a little bit stronger of a move up. Might be a little acceptable. We'll see. So this move happening, so I'm definitely not shorting it. No way. So it has to be a reversal now or never. This might be that pullback. It could just hang around, not be too close to the edge. You might go in for a long. Still got 20 minutes until that lunch session, so this might be the move. Like I said, I might be able to get in both of them at the same time, although it's best to just pick one. Might be in two. There's stops above right here for sellers and right here. There's a lot of stop losses above, so we'll see. "36 seconds to the moment of truth." Whatever that guy's saying on the Fed speech, as you can see, I don't know who it is. It doesn't matter. I don't know what they're saying. It does not matter. It's that warning yawn, y'all. Just trying to keep myself awake. Might trigger both. Might trigger one. Might trigger none. Just getting ready for a trigger. Red and whites. Looks like white might set up first. Either way, I'm getting ready for potential trigger to the long side from my RBR north. So I might hit that NQ first and adjust my chart so I can mark it up. Once again, if it's doing a lot of whipsawing, you see that? Don't like that. If it does that anymore, I'm not going to touch it. So you see it's pulling back on this bar. I'm going to have to wait till the next bar. And that's already a red flag. So I'm going to give it another bar or two. Definitely don't want to touch that right now. I have to wait till the next one. So this is whipsaw number one. Another one of these, avoid the trade. So you can see no matter how long I stick around, how badly I want to take a trade, if it's giving me these warning signs, I stay out. Absolutely gotta respect my guidelines. Rules are rules. Is it a waste of time? No, I'm gaining experience points. So it doesn't matter. Something's being gained at the end of the day. Even if it's a loss, it's a lesson. I can assess my performance after this and say, hey, did you do a good job? Did you do the right thing? So we'll see. See the HE, the lean hogs on the right. Lean hogs are live cattle. I can't tell right now, but yeah, it's nothing. Okay, so this is popping on up for mini NQ. If this triggers right now, I'm gonna leave it alone, but I may get it on the next bar up. So still enough room. There's about 15 minutes left until the lunchtime, and that's the absolute cutoff. So this is overtime. I'm trading right now. Might be able to squeeze a play. It's happening on both pairs. Like I said, today they're just marrying each other. I don't think that happens all the time, but it's happening today. All right, getting ready for that trade. Both of them are going to trigger at the same time. How ironic. All right. You see it's like a little inching. Oh, whips on again. No good. Don't go too deep. White is about to get hit. Red is looking a little hesitant. Where we going on white? White is giving me that go. Am I in? Am I in? Do I want to hit? Let's go. I'm in.
Order filled.
Stop loss is going to be right there. And I'm going to change it over to red. Am I going to be in on this one as well, or am I going to leave it alone? Am I in red? Am I in red? Red is a little hesitant. White, I'm going to go for 2.5, maybe 3R. See that's up there. Okay, red, I'm in. Gonna go in all along on red.
Order filled.
And I need to get another lot size on red.
Order filled.
There we go. Okay, I'm in both trades. Okay, I'm in a long on both trades, and you can see the live price action in front of you. Always uncertainty, but I am in these trades. I'm gonna just mark up my charts as I wait. So I'm in a long position on the NASDAQ, and I'm in a long position on the S&P. Just marking up my charts for my own notes. Seeing where 2R. 2R is my ideal target, but if I can go for more, I will extend my targets. So that's the S&P. You can see that the order, everything is set up. And here's the NASDAQ. Currently in the money on both pairs. So today they mirrored each other, but it's not like that all the time. I read them both independently, as those of you all can see. I'm in my zone right now, so I'm just focused. So that's why I'm not even talking like I was before. I'm fully focused, fully in my zone. Like Mark Douglas would say, it's called trading in your zone. So I'm in a flow state right now. You can see by my face, my reaction to the charts. Not nervous. I'm just fully focused on this price action right here. Clean. Both trades were clean. I love it. Clean entries all day. I'm actually going to trail my stop loss to break even. I'm going to mark the charts up after because I need to focus. So immediately trailing this to half an R on the S&P, and then the NQ. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to trail this as close as possible to break even. Right there. So my risk is reduced on both. And I'm going to see how close it can get to my targets. I'm looking to take out these stops right here. There's some seller stops at 21,149 on the NASDAQ. And then there's some seller stops around 59.63 on the S&P. I'm currently up in the money on both pairs. I did take them independently of one another, even though they are mirroring each other. It just happened to be like that today. Taking out these stops right here on the S&Ps at 59.49 should fuel more buying pressure as the sellers panic, and kind of like a domino effect, it should give more momentum to the upside. Same thing with the bottom chart. So I'm just going to sit on my hands now. Once I'm up 1 hour in the money, I will trail to break even to lock in a risk-free trade, but not yet. So just giving y'all that little heads up. It's almost risk-free, but not yet. I can't get too close. Can't trail my stop loss too tight. I just have to follow along with my system that I created. It's there to keep me safe and not let me close out too early out of hesitation. So right now I'm up 1 hour. I'm going to trail this to break even, or at least close to break even. I don't want to get too tight because I might have been a little bit late to that trade. Same here. I want to trail this as I'm up 1 hour on both pairs. So I'm currently up 2 hour total on the day, but I need to see it hit that 2 hour target. Then I'll be up 4 hour for the day. 2 pairs, 2 trades. That would be 4 hour for the day total. But it's not over yet, and I can't just celebrate too soon. I'm fully in my zone. I'm focused on managing my position. This is the performance phase. So I was in my being phase and I was in the production phase. Now I'm in my third phase, which is the performance phase. And yeah, it's full on trade management all the way until the trade is closed. So I'm not thinking about anything else, no external thoughts, no emotions, no distractions, just full on what I must do next. And I am reading price action. I just can't do anything right now. I will trail this pretty much. Yes, almost break even. Risking 17 bucks on that, 12 on that. It's because my entry might have been a little bit late, and I like to leave it beyond the bar. I don't want to put it inside the bar. So we'll see if that continues. But both trades, I am in the money. I do expect more buyers to step in. Like I said, we took out these swing highs, 59.52 on the S&P, and then we took out the swing highs at right here. I'm going to trail this one, though. I'm going to collect a little bit. Oops, too close. So this one is break even fully, or almost break even, 50 cents. And then S&P. So we'll see. So I already rewarded myself by trailing stops closer to break even. So I'm giving myself a potentially risk-free trade, but I don't want to close out too soon because then I'm shorting myself of the full potential of the trade. And I've done that way too many times. You do it enough times, you learn your lesson, or you keep on touching that hot stove and getting burned again. So, yep, 7 minutes till lunch. So if I don't see anything happen in the next few minutes, I'm going to close out manually because I don't want to hold it through lunch. See, it's starting to reverse a little bit. It's a little tricky right now because it's getting close to that lunchtime. So I'm going to get 1 bar aggressive on my trailing. So I'm collecting a partial right there. Price goes against me. Same here. So worst case scenario, I'll collect a little bit of money, but I'm going to let this continue to run. You can see I'm in the money on both pairs, currently up. But I'm getting a 1 bar aggressive trailing stop on both because we're getting close to US lunch. Fully in the zone, collect about half an hour. If I get trailed out right now, I'm ready to close out manually. If that does happen, either way, really good trades. It's just very late in the day, so I'm not going to take any chance. I'm going to get out aggressive if price starts stalling out. See, it's like whips on, stalling out, up. Pulls back any further on the S&Ps, I'm getting out. The NASDAQ is looking better, but the S&Ps is looking a little hesitant. Stalling out, coming back. It's just sitting there at those lows.
Order filled.
S&Ps I closed out. I'm up 1 hour on the S&Ps. So I'm going to just mark that up right here. S&P I close out 1 hour. NASDAQ, let's see. This is the last runner. So good trade on the S&P. Just happened to be flipping right now. It could continue up, but I don't want to take any chances on that. It's a great trade. NASDAQ, it still has potential. That's what I meant. They look similar, but they might move different. NASDAQ, I'm also up a little over 1 hour, but we'll see what happens on the NASDAQ. Maybe I get that 2R. I'm going to trail my stop loss very aggressively. So anything below this current bar, I'm getting out. Worst case scenario, I'm collecting about 1 hour. See if we can go all the way up to my target. See, the S&P was a little false move. So I meant they look similar, but hey, S&P was a great trade. So I collected 1 hour on the S&P. NASDAQ, I'm currently up about 2R, give or take. See that 2.24R. I'm going to get out around 2.5R, call it a day. Can we go any higher? 3 minutes until lunchtime. I don't like that. I'm about to close out if it goes on below this current bar lows. I'm up 2R right now, so I'm totally fine with closing out. Wonderful day. Another winning day. Two peak, 2 days in a row. Y'all see what happened. So I'm up 2.2 R on NASDAQ. Let's see if I can get 2.5 R. S&P up. Yep. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's see if I can get that 3 R. Pulling on up. See if we can get 3 R on NASDAQ. S&P would have been nice too. That would have been 6 R for the day, but it's totally fine. I collected 1 R and I got out when I was supposed to. Let's see that NASDAQ. Mini NQ, micro NQ. Let's see. Woo. It's been a long day, y'all. Long session. 2.9 R. Might just collect 2.6, 2.7. I'll assess it when I'm done. I like to see a big thrust, but maybe I don't get that. Okay, I'm closing this one on out.
Order filled.
Okay, wonderful. Caught 2 winners today. About 2.48, 2.5 R on the NASDAQ, and 1 R on the S&P mini ES. So that's a total of 3.5 R for the day. Y'all seen it happen in real time. Overtime did pay off today. And yeah, that's it. So I'm going to mark up my chart. Beautiful day today, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being present. Those of you that have been watching me. I'm just going to mark the chart off right now so I can know. And I'm going to sum up the session with some final notes. So just give me a moment while I mark this up. Plus 1 R. So it's RBR North. Just going to leave it as RBR. And I'm going to put some notes later in my post session. Thank you all for tuning in once again. It's another day, another winner in a row. A little bit of a longer day, longer session, but totally worth it. Absolutely worth it. 3.5 R day. So this was about 2.5 R. And it's all estimates. I'll know the final valuation at the end. This is also an RBR. Wonderful. 2 winners. You can see how I performed on both pairs. Just because they look similar doesn't mean that I'm going to trade them the same. I closed this one a little bit earlier and this one much later. And you can see the market is starting to stall out, and it is officially the New York lunchtime. So I commentated price action bar by bar, tick by tick. Like I said, this is not a magic show. This is real life. And yeah, total plus 3.5 R day. Wow. What a day. What a day. 2 peak. I'm gonna upload this to my YouTube. If you want to learn from me, if you want to hear, if you want some consulting, private coaching, want to day trade alongside with me, I'm not a professionally licensed advisor, so don't take my trades or anything like that as professional advice. It's not. I'm not telling you what to do, but if you like what you see, I can teach y'all what I do, and you can adopt whatever you want. But thank you all. It's been a pleasure. 2 times in a row. I did it again. I'm out. Peace.